Oh, you're muted, Mike. Or SC. Starting off strong.
You're still muted. Yeah.
Hey, well, I'll introduce. Hey, everybody. Hyde
What
Park
is
Ninjas
up?
here.
Am I back?
We got Matt Chef.
Yeah.
We got
Well,
Matt
now you're
Chef.
back.
All right. Well, happy Sunday Fun Day, or Saturday Fun Day in this case. So, hope everyone's doing well. We got a great show. We got Easter weekend here in the States, and we got Mass Chef and Picasso in the house, the past season URL winner. So, we're excited about that. We're going to talk a little bit of racing and anything metaverse that comes up today. So, maybe a little future of gaming too. But, Pac, how are you doing today?
I'm good, mate. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's an honour to be here. I'm with the Stream Dream team today, and the Ninjas and Mass Chef. You know,
It's been a dream so far, right? We only had one technical difficulty, so
it's all good,
It
my
wouldn't.
friend.
yeah.
It
Mass Chef,
wouldn't
how
be a
you
live
doing?
stream. I'm fantastic. It wouldn't be a live stream unless we had some technical glitches. I mean, that's just the
Thank
way it
God,
works
right?
around here.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. How you guys doing? Good to see you.
you too. So what do you guys have going on, Mass? What do you got going on for Easter?
I actually am working. Unfortunately I have to work on Easter Sunday because my normal schedule is Sunday through Thursday. I usually have Friday and Saturdays off. So, yep. So I'm working. My kids are going to hang out with grandparents and eat some Easter dinner without me.
Well, I know you're a chef. Are you cooking anything special?
I'm actually not cooking because I'm working. So I actually don't cook. I oversee.
Very cool.
So I let everybody else do the cooking, and I just go around base. I'm sure you can all tell I'm pretty much a bigger guy, so I spend my day walking around tasting everybody's handiwork, making sure it's all good.
Awesome. Pac, how about you?
I
You
could.
got anything going for Easter? Do you guys celebrate Easter over there you're
Yeah,
in London, I believe?
yeah, we celebrate Easter, mate. Yeah, it's Christian country, really, England. So but I'm not a religious man. I've not really got anything going on, to be honest. I'm just chilling, relaxing, and hopefully cooking up some points on the leaderboards.
There you go. There you go. Kale, how
You're
about
doing
you? What
that
do you
for
got
sure.
going? I know you've had a long weekend, a lot of yard work, it sounded like.
Yeah, we have a big fundraiser where we break 1,000 boards and we raise money for our local Second Harvest Food Bank. But I've got to go. Actually, I have to leave the stream early today. I got my times mixed up because I have to go pick up all the wood and cut it into 1,000 pieces so we can break it into 2,000 pieces next weekend. So yeah, just busy with doing that and some house stuff, and threw out my back this morning. So that was. I'm like, I'm stuck right here. I got a heating pad on my back. I can't move.
Oh
Stay
no.
So
away from those dangerous activities like golf.
yeah,
Get you
very
hurt.
dangerous. Much safer than fighting,
Yeah.
or much more dangerous than fighting. That's for real.
That
But yeah,
that is facts. I took out a senator one time with a golf ball.
Nice.
Just saying.
oh,
Very
In
nice.
in Washington D.C. on a Washington D.C. golf course.
what was that on purpose or an accident?
It was an accident, but he was kind of a dick, so I guess it was on purpose. But I mean, he was in my fairway. I told him I was coming, like I told him I was hitting, and I waved at him and everything, and he kept telling me to go ahead and hit, go ahead and hit. So I went ahead and hit. And then I topped it, hit a little skimmed worm burner across the freaking fairway, and took him out at the knees.
If I've
Sounds
got
like you've got a
people
good
around,
shot on your Mass.
True,
yeah.
true story. That is a 100% true story.
So typically when I golf, it's better for people to stand in the fairway.
Well,
'Cause
me
if they're
too.
in the
Usually,
fairway, they're safe.
yeah, me too. Usually, and obviously he had watched me play because I had been playing behind him all day. So he had watched me play and play off into the woods all day long. So I'm sure he thought he was safe too. And but not to be.
Oh man, I'll remember that if we ever play golf together.
There we go. When we do
Yeah,
the
I'm like a. I'm like an 85 handicap out of the fairway, but I'm a 40 handicap out of the woods. So, you know.
I don't even know what my handicap would be. I guess like an 88, something like that. I don't get to golf much. My son is a pretty avid golfer, and he likes to get out and have fun. I'm afraid to go with him. He shot like a 77 the other day. I guess that's good in golf. But
Yep,
yeah, I
that's
don't even
pretty
want to get
good.
on the course with him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Well, I guess it would
Yep.
be fitting to talk a little racing today, since we got some racers in the house and the leader of the pack with the URL. So we had the first week of the URL, and I had the unique opportunity to race, and it was a exciting event. You know, it was so different. I think the last time I raced, because I had been out for a while, we had 12 racers and 12 good racers, and you know, man, we got 18 good racers now. So it's definitely a lot more competition, a lot harder, but it was definitely a lot more exciting, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it. It was so much fun. And hey, you haven't raced for quite some time, and you still managed to get top 10. So not a bad showing for the first time out on the track in a while.
Technically, I got top 7.
Well, yes, I mean,
I got to take every
a
point I can get.
a top 10 spot, yes, number 7. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
But hey, that's double digit points, so you got to take it.
there were some incredible scores put up. I think Picasso, actually, you had a pretty tight score, 153 maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think that was
Picasso's
in practice.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
practice?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
threw
it
up
didn't
he
quite
threw up
work out too good for me this time.
Yeah.
You know, couple of things went wrong, but that's all it takes, isn't it? One unlucky skid here, one unlucky skid there, and
Yeah.
you know, your time suffers. But that's the racing.
Yep.
But I'll
that's how
tell
it
you what,
works.
making it into the finals, that's awesome. And I got to tell you, that finals race was crazy. Everybody was on top of each other the first flap. I mean, it was crazy. So, anybody to get out of that and still come up with you finished fourth. So, not shabby at all.
Not too bad, but I would have liked a little bit better. But it's okay.
Well,
Plenty of races to go yet, isn't it?
every racer likes a little bit better, I can assure you.
Of course, mate. Yeah,
That was
definitely.
a tough track for the S1Rs too. I mean, it was definitely a shorter track. Is that the shortest track we raced this year?
I believe that is the shortest track that we're going to race this year. Yes.
That was tough.
We're on Creedmoor next week. It's a little bit longer, not much, a little bit though. We wanted to make sure that we had a good mix of tracks for the S1Rs this season, because you want to the best racers, you want to highlight whatever talents they have, and some of them are better on the short tracks, some of them are better on the long tracks, and it kind of brings out a little bit of the best of everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was surprised when I see the almighty Olive be picked. I was, I did think, hey, this is a bit not really S1R-ish, but it was definitely interesting to run. Took a little bit of figuring out, but once you get there, it's a decent track.
Yeah, once you get used to it and you run a few practice runs on it, it's not terrible. And you just have to, it forces you to get some good timing on your boost. It forces you to think about where you're braking, and it was really a good test, I think, of these top drivers that are out there.
Yeah, definitely was.
Definitely.
Well, I'm excited for next week in Creedmoor. That is a track that is I would say pretty well built up. Decorations and
that's to say the
assets.
least. Yeah, that track has got tons on it. That's why I gave the warning at the end of the show yesterday and said, I highly recommend everybody jump on PC for that race, because the phones will probably have a little bit of issue with all the. I think there's something like, I don't know, 20,000 map assets or something on that track. It's crazy.
It's crazy. I was thinking about going and taking mine down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun race, so I'm looking forward to that.
For sure.
Well, KO, I think you had, we were talking a little bit last night or yesterday afternoon in between the tilling of your land over there. I think you had an interesting question about the cars that came up. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, so I was wondering, it came from the conversation of you and I think Picasso were like practicing the race, and you each have a different year for the S1R,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
So they were handling the track a little bit differently, right? So if I was wondering if like mid-season, are you set to your car, or like if you have two S1Rs and one handles the track a little differently, can you switch? No, so you
So,
are set
so they,
to.
you are set to the car for the season. So if you select a car and that's the car that you submitted with your driver's card, that we take at the beginning of the season, then that's the car that you run with.
Gotcha. It was just a question that came up that I was like, man, that would be really
Hmm.
interesting to see people owning multiple of the same car, in case it handles the track better or not, so.
And so that's why we lock you in, because we don't, because you're right. The 2023s are different than the 2024s and the 2022s. The 2022s and the 2024s have the same stat. The 2023 has a slightly different stat. So because of that, we want, we that's why we said you have to lock in whatever car you're going to race for the entire season. Just to make it so, because I could potentially go in with a 2023, not like the way it performs on certain tracks, and then switch my car to a different, switch it to a different car that I know is going to perform better. And to me, that's not really how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Um, well, that does make a lot of sense. It was just a curiosity question that popped
Hmm.
up. And then I had another one. I was wondering if you would do a URL season, where basically it was like the wild, wild west, where all power-ups could be used up to a certain, thing. I didn't know if you had thought about running some kind of something like that.
Yeah, so actually, I have thought about it. So here's yes. So the short answer is yes. I have thought about it. The long
Yeah.
answer is not sure how to actually do that in a way.
That'd be chaotic.
It would be chaotic. I think it would be fun as hell.
Yeah.
It's something that I've been thinking about for a couple of months now. And possibly, switching out either the S1E season, or just making the S1E season something like that. I guess it would, I guess that potentially opens it up to a wider selection of drivers too, which I think would be really cool. So yes, the short answer is yes. I've thought a lot about it. The long answer is I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, or yeah, I'm just not
I
quite there yet.
I think it'd be fun, or even if it was like a one-off race, if you gave people like 2 weeks
Hmm.
to prepare, here's the track, the 100K Epics giveaway, get some
Yeah, yeah.
sponsors, and just do like a one-off. But I think that would be fun,
Or
I
even
think it would be.
potentially, yeah. Or I was also thinking of potentially just a shorter trial season to see how it
Hmm.
goes. Maybe
Yeah.
like just a
4 week deal or
4 week,
something. Yeah.
yeah, a 4 week trial season. Give away some prizes, do some whatever, and just kind of see how it goes. Um, Now, with that said, adding a season to what I already have is a very difficult thing to do, because I basically squeeze in what I do now between everything else that I do
Right.
um, in real life. So to add an additional season would be very, very tough. So that's why I'm thinking of either switching, or maybe tagging on with, or I don't know. I haven't quite thought through all the details yet, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I think it would be super fun, and I absolutely love the idea. It's just a matter of organizing and getting it put together. Yeah.
I also asked that question because I went and bought like the floor of all the racing legits. the power ups. I want to use these.
Yeah. And I mean, I like the idea of it just because I do think that would help the market on the the secondary market for those power ups and stuff as well, which you can never go wrong by helping the economy. So yeah, that plays a part of it as well.
Mass, I forgot to
Yeah.
tell you, I brought a special coffee cup for you today.
Oh, you did? Oh my, oh my, oh my.
As I was looking over your head, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, see,
Well, it's right on your hat
I got
too.
the
Yeah.
hat. I got,
It's like
we got
double in
all
my
kinds
face
of
there. Triple. There's a
Well,
sticker back there.
stuff. And you're lucky because I usually have an Ohio State glass too, and it's dirty today, so I didn't use it yet.
Man.
Is that the Buckeyes?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Ohio, and if you cut me, I'll bleed a little bit of scarlet and gray.
Hey Picasso, what was your thoughts on the race? Like the talent out there, with 18 people instead of 12 racers this time, and do you have obviously Sam Mahoney and Matsuda are, but do you have another team that you're kind of keeping an eye on?
It was very interesting, with all the new racers, see who's any good and whatnot. But to me, it's all the same. You know, one race is another racer. You just gotta be better than the next man, ain't you? But I enjoyed the free heats. It fattened out the program a bit, didn't it? So yeah, very interesting. It's going to be a lot harder to qualify for the final now.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that being said, it works both ways because, all right, there's one less spot for the final, but there's also some, I don't mean to be horrible or anything, but there's some lesser drivers in there as well. So it's a bit more, the talent's a bit more spread out,
Mm-hmm.
So it works both ways. You can get an easier heat now than you could before, maybe,
Right.
but
Or you
it's,
can get a
it's
harder
harder
one
to get
too, right?
in those top two. The teams that I like, my favourite team, I'd say, would probably be Vape and Funky, but they're just because I like them too.
Vape raced
Not
his butt
because
off this week.
he did very well. Yeah, I just couldn't squeeze past him. I was behind him all the way, and I just kept going into the back of him. So fair play to him. It's a good result for his debut. Top man Vape.
Yeah, I mean, to come out and first time racing in the URL and put up a third place finish and jump on the podium for the first race is spectacular. I personally kind of not super expected that, just because of all the nerves and stuff that are happening when you're running with a live race. And you really don't know it until you do it. And it really does make a difference on how you perform on the track because and I even got some messages after the race from some of the drivers that were like, oh wow, I didn't expect that, and you don't, and so unless you go through it. So I expect everybody on this board to get better as we go along, just because they're going to get used to how things run. They're going to get used to how they do it, and be more accustomed. And so the nerves start to go away a little bit as you get through the season a little bit more and more. So, we have a long season to go. We also have, during this season, we're going to end up with two Upland Racing Series finals as well, with the Blossom season final and then the Genesis final. Both are going to fall within this season of the URL's Champion Series. So there's a lot of racing happening, and so these guys are just going to get better and better, no question about it.
I'd say the nerves don't go away, mate. They seem to get worse as the season goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that time starts ticking down. 5, 4, 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, and the heart starts ticking with it.
It does, mate. It does. Your old
Well,
hands are sweaty after and all sorts,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
I'm glad that's done.
but you have to admit that the nervousness that you get at the beginning of the season is different than the nervousness that you get at the end. Because at the
Yeah,
beginning of the season, you're nervous because it's starting and you want to make a good impression and da 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 da. And at the end, it's because you're trying to get into that podium position. You're trying to make a good race of every race that you're doing. So the tension and the nerves are a different kind of tension and nerves, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't think I've ever been so nervous in my life for that last race of last season. The race off weren't too bad. I felt like I couldn't lose, but that last race, I
Mm-hmm.
felt
Just the
sick.
one-on-one.
You know, I couldn't believe it. I've never felt like that in my life.
And
Yeah,
that's
man.
what makes it great. That's when you get, especially if when you accomplish something that obviously you were the underdog coming into that. You were going to get up against a 3-time series champion on a 5-time series champion team, and to be able to pull through that and come through that the way that you did, there's no feeling like it, in my opinion. So, you just got to ride that through the next season.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Maybe I've used all my luck up, so it's someone else's time now.
Yeah, that's right. You're gonna overcompensate for luck with the skill now.
Right.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Yeah. Lightning Leg, great. Thanks for joining us. We got Shorty JS in here. Will Gill in the house. So if you guys don't know Will Gill, he is the Hyde Park Ninja card master. He is the brains and everything behind everything we got going on with the card game. So, and then Lightning Leg, good to see you in here. Are you streaming today? Lightning Leg is turning into a streaming madman. He is streaming all the time.
Constantly.
I
Yeah,
think there
he's
must be
on
3 of him.
constantly. Yeah. That's
So
awesome,
for anybody
though.
just joining us too, if you're just joining in for the first time, we're talking about racing here, and we actually have a full race league in the Upland Metaverse. So it's a really cool online game with virtual properties and all kinds of different things. So definitely check it out. We've got descriptions or links in the description. You can check out and get more information, but just having a little bit of fun in the metaverse, and racing is just one of the cool things that we do here. So a lot of cool stuff. But I was thinking about this the other day, with the metaverse and everything we have going on. What do you guys think is like the future of online gaming, and what is coming with this whole metaverse platform?
Jeez. I'll let somebody else go first because I don't know.
I think ownership, owning the NFTs is the future of gaming. Thing is, worlds are being created now rather than just single games. So you're going to want to own stuff in that world rather than just a game. There's going to be games coming out in these worlds all the time, and things are going to be improving. And I think we're in the right place in Upland. I can see some good potential here.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up that term, that name, NFT, and it's, nowadays it's almost like it's a curse word in, some audiences. And I think a lot of people just don't understand what an NFT is, the non-fungible token, and it is that digital ownership. And I think there's been so many, I won't mention any projects, but there's been a lot of like crappy projects out there, pump and dump, and it's given it a bad name. But the actual NFT, I don't see it as a curse word. I think there's a lot of validity, to what an NFT is if it's done in the right way.
Definitely, 100%. I think the metaverse gets brushed with the same, gets tarred with the same brush there.
Yeah.
I think certain certain people, certain things have tried to diminish the name and make it look bad, but I think there's a bright future in it.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I guess that can happen with anything. I mean, you look at the stock market, right? Everybody's in the stock market, or a lot of people are, but even that's manipulated in so many ways, so it happens everywhere.
Yeah, you've only got to look back to the beginning of the internet, haven't you? And there was a lot of dodgy business going on there, you know. So as more people come to understand what things are, there'll be less bad players involved, less people thinking they can take advantage, and it will just, you know, its reputation will improve.
Yeah, 81st Battalion, it is hard to even imagine where it could go because there's so much. And the technology, everything is changing daily. You know, it really does change daily and advances. And you got all the AI stuff, and I mean, it's just crazy. It's going to be unlimitless, you know, where this is going to go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
81st Battalion said it all there, because I really don't think that we've even come close to seeing what the possibilities of Web3 are. I think we're still just at the very beginning stages of Web3. I think we're at the very the very precipice of what's going to happen, because as you said, things change daily, technology changes daily, AI is going to change daily. So I think that we're not even remotely close to anything to what they'll see in generations beyond ours, for sure.
Yeah,
Without a
100%.
doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff in chat too with the NFTs. Yeah, there's been a betrayal of truth and trust in people for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it has to be. I think Upland. So I know we give Upland a hard time, about some of the clunkiness and stuff. But Upland has done something other people have not, with the ease of owning NFTs. Right? I had never owned an NFT before, and Upland made it easy to purchase properties and block explorers. And I think a lot of people in the beginning don't even realize, oh, these little blue squares are NFTs. And so I think kind of like what Gil said in there, when you have a few larger projects reach the masses, such as something like Upland, and also making it super super simple for people to do. If there's wallets and addresses and transferring stuff, people aren't going to do it.
Too hard, too many hoops to jump through. I think that was the biggest thing, you know, as we segued into Upland, is we didn't even realize we were buying NFTs at the time. You know, we were buying the virtual properties and stuff, and I knew it was digital ownership. I didn't really tie it to NFTs necessarily, but the interest earnings is what I was interested in, and that's just kind of the start of it. Because I see a lot of players in Upland. You know, you hear them talk, and some of them are like really stuck on just the interest earnings and the property side of it. And I think a lot of people don't see like the big picture, you know, of what's going on. It's much more than digital property. I mean, there's so much more to it. I mean, look at what we were talking about when we started today, the racing. Huge. This is turning into a really big thing, and it's it's just going to evolve from there. You got people building I mean, we're a prime example. We built, Hyde Park Ninja, MMA fighting rings. We've got ninja assets. You know, people are
Mm-hmm.
building go karts, and there's so much cool stuff. You got the property decorations, and those are implemented into different contests and stuff. And not even to mention with the racing alone, you can actually win game currency. You can win UPIX, racing, and you got people that are doing sponsorships. There's all kinds of really cool stuff. I think it's limitless on what can be done. I think the metaverse and the whole Web3 space is going to be as good as our creative minds will make it.
Definitely. Well said.
100%.
On that profound note,
Yeah,
SC, I
Kale,
gotta
get
jump.
out of here. You
I
gotta
gotta
go
jump out.
You gotta go play with your wood.
Oh, God.
Oh God.
All right.
No,
It's
Kale.
probably a
SC has
good
been
time.
hanging around with almost human too much.
I
Yeah, there
know.
you
I
go.
know.
He was
I
on
Wow.
know.
tear last night.
It's a bad influence on you.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a good time over there getting all the wood cut, and I know you guys got a really great event there for a great cause with the Second Harvest. I know we've done work with them over the years in the North Carolina area, and it's just a great way to give back to the community. And you guys do just a tremendous job with that out in Johnson City. So that city is definitely really lucky to have you guys there.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, SC. Thanks, Mass. See you, Pack.
All right.
Good to
Have
see
a
you,
good
Good
Keys.
night,
Have
Easter
a good one.
if I don't talk to you before.
All right, Cesar.
All right. Bye-bye.
So then there was
Nice.
3.
There we go. Yep, that's right. Oh man. Well, we've
How
got
did you how did you enjoy your time back in the racing SC?
man, it was great. I got to tell you, I was, I've been out of it for quite a long time, and I've raced karts a little bit, but I hadn't been racing as much just because I got so much going on in real life with our academies and family stuff, and then we've got all the Hyde Park stuff going on. So we have, the different meetings with the different groups for what we're building, and we have a really tremendous team, with Hyde Park, and there's a lot of work that goes into what we're doing with the comic books and the card game that's being created and some of the gaming stuff that we're working with too. There's just a lot to it, and having the skill set and finding the right people, with the right skill set also to fill those spots is really tough. And so I hadn't been racing as much, and I was really nervous getting back at it. I know we've talked in chat a little bit, and I'm trying to get my bearings back with racing because the the mechanics are so different from when I raced. I remember doing this is way back when I first got into Upland. I had no idea what the heck I was doing and could barely turn on my computer, let alone a stream like this, what we're doing today. And I got involved with TML and the Upix podcast guys, and they put together this event with Creedmoor. It was the Creedmoor event, and they were doing like a fundraiser for the Spooktacular, and it was just an amazing event. And I believe that was the first one that was done. And I still remember this day like it was yesterday because it was around Halloween. I think it was on Halloween day actually. I was on stream
Hmm.
dressed up as Green Lantern. And I think that was the first time in my whole life I've ever been online or on stream or camera. And I was dressed up in a costume. And anybody that knows me knows I absolutely don't like Halloween. I don't like to dress up. That's just not my cup of tea. And that was the first way that I was presented on screen. And it was an amazing event. So I think it was the Metaverser went in and he built the skins that went on the cars, and he made an unbelievable skin for the S1R that was a ninja with like swords and pumpkins and different
Hmm.
stuff, and it was amazing. It was amazing, but the event itself, it raised money and it brought awareness to. Um, that one was the what's the center there, Mass, that we were helping, the
It was
psychiatric
the
center.
Child Mind Institute.
Yes, that one that's up in that area.
Hmm.
It was just a great event. It was well put together. We had a lot of fun, but the cars back then, we didn't really race them because we were there, but it was an AI race because that's all that we had. And
Hmm.
then it's it's really interesting, the to see how far the mechanics have come. Because like the first season that I raced in, we did have control of the cars. It was a little bit more limited compared to what it is now. But just from that time to this season, the mechanics are a lot different. So there was a lot to learn for sure. And I'm still every day I'm going to learn more and more.
And you've come
Yeah.
in at the highest level of car, really, ain't you?
I know.
Yeah, the
Yeah, right
first
into
Couldn't have
the
got
our
any
S1Rs
harder.
against the best racers in Upland. So not
yeah
intimidating at all.
our first broadcast season, we did not have control of cars. They were strictly AI ran, and we called the races for an AI ran vehicle for our very first season broadcasting the URL. So I remember those days.
Yeah.
That's way before my time.
It's amazing how
Way
far it's come.
before.
And you know what's really exciting though, because there's been so much that's changed, right? But there's also been a lot that hasn't changed. So look at some of the players that are still here that were in that event.
Hmm.
Me and you are here. KO's here.
Yep.
Shacklin,
Yep.
Metaverser. Heck, Metaverser, man, we met him 2 years in a row out in Vegas, and we hooked up with him last year, and we got these amazing Upland Hyde Park Ninja shoes made. It's hard to see these on
Those
camera, I
yeah,
know.
those are awesome.
Um, but he
Yeah,
did a
very
freaking
nice.
amazing job on these shoes. And we've got two different ones. KO's got a set, and I've got a set that are slightly different, based on us and our characters in game. And I was super excited. This is the first year I had them, and I was actually really excited about wearing them to Genesis Week this year. Me and Kale were all ready to go. We got the shoes, the outfit we were going to wear for Genesis Week, and then I know they kind of put the kibosh on that for this year. But I'm looking forward to wearing them next year. So I'm going to keep these babies waxed up and looking good and ready for the
Nice.
2026 season. So, but hey, we are. I'm actually working on putting together a meetup possibly on the East Coast or something that we can get everybody to and have a little fun and network and get out and have some fun and do some metaverse stuff and kind of spread the word. And I know we really enjoyed all of the events that we've been to with Upland. We've been to the last two Vegas ones, and it was just a fantastic time. And just getting there to network with people that understand what we're doing, because you talk to people in everyday life and they're like, what the hell are you talking about? And you get there and you're actually networking and working with people that understand what we're doing and kind of where it's going too. So I'm looking forward to the next event, and I'm looking forward to Vegas next year. And I do understand from Upland's point, it wasn't able to happen this year, and it is what it is. But I definitely look forward to the next one or any meetups we could do in between, to keep the teams building. And because there are so many people that are so creatively gifted and smart when it comes to this arena. And I've just had a blast networking with everybody that we get to network with day in and day out. And it's been great to see new communities like North Trenton. You guys are a fantastic community. We get in there and we can shoot the shit and have fun. We could do racing and all that stuff, and it's just a really good fun time. So I really enjoy all of the different communities, and it's just been great to see new ones come alive too, just bringing more more people to the metaverse. So, and it's crazy to think, because we're like probably 1 to 2% of people that even know what the metaverse is. Because most people, you talk to them and you say metaverse, immediately they're thinking Zuckerberg and Facebook.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody
yeah.
goes to. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't even have anything to do with, well, I guess they do in some way, have kind of a little pot, but I don't know, there's so much more to it than what you see on Facebook for sure.
Yeah, whenever I say Metaverse 21, I always have to say it's not Facebook. Facebook man didn't make it. He's making
Yeah.
one. That's one. That's not the biggest, and it's not the first metaverse. There's many. Because straight
Mm-hmm.
away people go to that. They think
Mm-hmm.
Meta straight away.
Yep. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. We've been able to network and meet people from all over. I know you're from London, Mass. You're from way up north in Boston area, or
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts, up in that area
Yep.
somewhere. And even though you're like an Ohio State fan, I'm a Penn State fan. We in the metaverse we can all get along, right? And have
Absolutely.
fun together and
Absolutely.
network and do cool things. But yeah, Matt, I was talking to Matt online earlier in one of our chats, and it was pretty early this morning. I think I was up making my coffee, my first cup, and he was off to do a job. He was deconstructing a basement bar or something, and it's amazing to see all these people in chat, and then we see them on stream and get to network. So I look forward to
Mm-hmm.
getting to meet everybody that we meet on stream in person. That's my goal, and it's been really cool for sure. So I know, Mash,
100%.
you haven't been able to make Vegas because that's a really bad work week for you, I know. But
Yeah.
hopefully we can get you to one of the East Coast meetups or something. Would be awesome.
I'd be totally down for an East Coast meetup. You tell me when and where, and I'll do everything I can to get there. That's for sure. Let's make it in like July,
Yeah,
August, somewhere in there. Any
when it's
time after
nice
the
on the East
first,
Coast.
yeah, when it's nice and there's no snow, and
We can come up to Mass in February.
you don't, dude. You come up here in February, you might not get out. I'm just
Hey,
saying.
that's why I left Buffalo years ago. That
Yeah.
that snow was too much. As soon as I was old enough, I was out. When I initially left Buffalo, I left to get away from the snow, and I moved to Erie, Pennsylvania. And I think the snow
Boy,
was
did
just
you
as
bet.
bad there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, boy, did you mess that up.
Yeah, yeah, it was a cool place, but
Yeah.
yeah, man. Dumb Mustang. Oh, that's right. Dumb Mustang. You are in Pennsylvania. I forgot about that. Yeah, I remember meeting you in Vegas as well. Actually, we met at the first night there, And he does some really cool digital work. Actually, I saw some of his digital work. He does some really cool stuff, Das Mustang. So yeah, we'll definitely keep everybody up to speed on what we put together. But there's been a lot of talks of that, and I do think that with the Vegas event being canceled, I believe that Too Stupid to Win and TML are still doing some stuff there and hanging out. So I don't know
Yeah,
who all's going.
yeah, I know they're just I don't know if they're actually doing stuff. I guess they said, TML said they might do a live broadcast or something, but
Nice.
other than that, it's just a hangout. Just go and hang out and chit chat and gamble and whatever. So
Yep. Yep. Well, we had a blast when we went for sure, but unfortunately, as soon as I heard that it was not a go, I had to switch plans because I had other things going on in real life that were a little more pertinent. So
right.
Yeah, it was a little gutting that it's not going to be on in Vegas this year, but I'm very interested to see how this digital event works out.
Hmm.
It might be great, mightn't it? We might have a real good time. So let's
I
not
think it
worry
could be a
too
really
much
good
just yet.
thing. Depending on what Upland has set up, and I don't know, what they have set up, but it could be a huge thing. I mean, think about the amount of people that are not able to make it to Vegas, which is quite a few. It
Yeah,
could be a huge event if it's done right, I think. So time will
definitely.
tell,
Yeah.
to be coming soon. So, but either of you guys heard any like events that are going to be going on for it? I really haven't heard a whole lot yet.
No, they've been pretty tight about what's happening. The only thing that I know that's happening is we will be doing a Genesis live race during that week at some point.
Nice.
For the Genesis, the Upland Racing Series Genesis finals
Hmm.
are always on that Friday usually. So, um, as far as I know, that's the only thing that I've heard that's happening that I know for sure will happen.
Nice. Is that likely to be on the regular Friday time, probably? Or is it
Yep, probably more
easy
than
for everybody?
likely. Yeah, it'll be Friday, probably 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, roughly.
Hmm. It was great to see everybody make it Friday at the race. We had 18 racers in there, and I mean, people are all over the world, right? And for
Yeah,
everybody to make that was really good.
yeah. That's Picasso. It's evening time where you are when we race, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yep,
6:30 in the evening, which is
yep,
perfect for
Hmm.
me. I'll
yep.
probably get the cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know San Mahoney and Matsuda are in Mauritius, so I know it's like late there. It's 8, 9 o'clock there where they're at. I believe it's 8 hours difference, so probably 8:30, 9 o'clock there.
We're
Let's see.
smack dab
Yeah,
in the middle of lunch where we
yeah.
are.
Buellman's in Germany.
Yeah.
So TB125 is over in Europe. So
Oh, is
yeah,
TB in Europe?
they're definitely
I didn't
everywhere.
realize that. Yeah, we
Yeah, I
got to
think
meet them in
TB is an
Vegas too.
Englishman as well. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy. We met him in Vegas. I think the first time I met him was at the go-kart racing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun.
Yep. And if you haven't had a chance to check out anthologypuzzles.com, I highly recommend that everybody does that because that's TB125's company. It's a real life company, and he makes some phenomenal. If you're into puzzles, man, these things are just ridiculously awesome. He actually made there is a custom puzzle floating around out there in the world somewhere that was made for the very first Creedmoor event that we did, and
Really?
he did a custom wooden puzzle for it. It was awesome.
That's fantastic. I know KO got a puzzle from him, and it came in the mail, and he was missing a piece.
Oh no!
And like, I think it was like 2 months later, KO got a piece in the mail. it was the
That's
it was the
awesome.
missing piece. It was
The missing
he
piece.
was
That's
dying.
fantastic.
That was pretty good. So
Yeah, that's
yeah, it was pretty
fantastic.
funny. Well, I've got I think, Mash, you saw our anatomy of a card that I
Yes.
showed a couple weeks ago. We have a new
Yep.
card actually. I'm going to show today. I don't
Ooh,
know if we've
I
showed
like
this on
new.
stream or not yet. I'm going to pull it up here though. Let me see if I can do this without breaking anything. Let's see. All right, let's give this a try. All right, can you guys see those?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
all right. So this is the card on the right. Here. This
Oh,
is
you're
the one
echoing bad. When you shared your screen, you shared it with sound. You got to undo that.
Is that better?
There you go. Now you got it.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. I'm getting the hang of the streaming stuff. It's going to be
Right?
easier soon. All right. So the card on the right, let me get some of this stuff moved over. It's not showing right here. So the one on the right is the anatomy of the card. This is the one we showed a couple weeks ago, and it has like all the, you know, where everything is on the card. And then the one on the left here, this is actually one of our cards, and it's got like the casting cost, and the name of the card is a speed kick, and it gives like the damage that it inflicts. And this is a particular one that's played as kind of like a combination. So it's after another basic kick. So it's got some of the mechanics, but I wasn't sure if we showed this one or not yet, actually.
Yeah,
so
I
have
haven't.
it up
This
on the
is
screen.
first time I've seen that one for sure.
And the artwork is really, really amazing. Actually, it's got if you can see the kicking leg, and it's got smoke and fire coming off of it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Looks like one of my kicks down the boozer on a Friday night.
It's too funny. Yeah,
that's
am I echoing or am I good
Yep,
now?
you're echoing.
Damn it. Okay, we're good now. All right.
There you
At
go.
least I know where this button is now, because I've been having a hard time with figuring this thing out. The streaming equipment I love the streaming equipment I have, I really like it, but they do make a lot of modifications to stay up with the times. And it's like if one little thing gets moved and I'm not used to it, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I do have. So this is going to be a fun night ahead of me. I've got I had bought the Mac Mini 4.
Are you putting it together finally? I mean, it's only.
I'm going to do it. So I've had it since December.
I know.
Right before the beginning of the year.
I just want to throw this out there that this is now the third time that you've told me that you were going to put that together. Just saying. It's getting really hard for me to believe you.
I'm working at a slightly quicker pace than KO was on his wall decorations.
Fair enough.
That took a year and a half. I'm only at like 5 months, so I'm doing all right.
Right.
But I've got I've got a little time off for spring break, a couple days, and
nice.
That is on my list of things to do tonight. My son has graciously offered to help me so I don't break anything, because I tend to do that with technology. So that's on the goal. That and a lot of yard work this weekend. So
right.
But
yeah, that's what I'm on the yard patrol this weekend.
Are you guys able to plant stuff yet, or is it
cold
up there still?
It's starting to, like today it's like 77, but this is the warmest day we've had so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, our average for this time of year is usually about 50-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So this is hot comparatively, but it'll start to warm up gradually now. So, yeah, we've already started. We went out and black tarp the gardens so they kill off all the weeds, and so we're getting there. Asparagus should start popping up here fairly soon.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, we've got the weeds down here have been horrendous this year.
Yeah,
and then we've had a couple cold spells, so it like killed certain things, and now we should be warm from here on out. We had a week that was like 86 back about a month ago, and then it dropped down to the 30s and 40s again, and now it's back up. It's been like in the 70s this week, and so the weather's getting a little bit nicer here. Picasso, what's the weather like your guys' way? What kind of temperatures are you guys getting this time of year?
I wouldn't really tell you the temperature. Cool, grey, miserable. That sums up England. English weather, you know. But it ain't been too bad today. The sun's been shining through the window, so it ain't been too bad. It's not cold.
Nice. I saw the
Excellent.
sun shining in, and it almost looked like you were at the beach or something. So I didn't know. I was like, man, the weather's nice there.
Yeah, like I say, today's been a quite a good one compared to what it normally is, you know. But it's never great in England. We get about 4 days of summer usually, and then
Really?
it's all over. You know, it's back to rain and grey skies all the while. You know, so I've got to find my way out to warmer climates. I have.
Well, what so I know you guys have a lot going on in North Trenton. Um, tell us a little bit maybe about your vision over there in North Trenton, because you guys got a really good community, and I get in there as much as I can, and we have just a really great time racing around. But what else have you guys got going over there? I know you got like a really cool alien project, and but what's like the main theme other than like racing? What else is going on in North Trenton?
Well, North Trenton's just been like it's been an organic growth type of thing. It's just a bunch of mates who have come across each other in the metaverse, become good mates, and then we've settled down in North Trenton. We was all over the place, you know, in separate nodes, not really in any nodes of note. So we was all just wasting our time off here, there, and everywhere. So we all come together in North Trenton, and North Trenton really is just about having fun. SC, you've been in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
We have some right old fun in there, plenty of jokes going on, and we've got some real good guys. It's a real fun time. We're not so much a racing node, but we're a node full of racers. So
Mm-hmm.
it was only, it was just the next natural step to take over these leaderboards,
Mm-hmm.
and we've done a great job at that this season. We've really put some work in. I want to thank all the lads: Cutty Bow, Almost Human, California Trading Co., Meh, yourself, SC. Boy Dern's been in there with us. I might have forgot one or two others as well. I don't like to forget people. Foreskin, I can't forget Foreskin.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a great group of lads, and we have a good time. The alien. The Alien collections, they're my map assets. I'll keep bringing out more collections of them. Low mints, I'm trying to populate Upland with alien life. So that's a Pack Corp project, that is, rather than a North Trenton project.
Yeah.
Pack Corp was born in North Trenton, so there's a connection there. But that's what North Trenton's all about. It's all about having a good time. So if anyone wants to come and have a good time in the metaverse, that's your place to come.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We love hanging out there, and we obviously do a lot of stuff within Hyde Park too. But we love to get out and experience what's going on in the other communities and network, and so much fun. So if you guys aren't in the node, if you guys don't head over that way, definitely do. Hook up with those guys. A lot of fun to have, and you guys are killing the racing boards, by the way. So it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun and some really good competition racing there.
definitely. Yeah,
So what do
definitely.
you
There's a lot
do?
of good races.
So what do you do when you're not on Upland? Because I know you're in Upland a lot. You're really active. What else do you do in real life?
Well, Upland has took over for me really this last year or so. When I'm not uplanding, I'm either plastering or just seeing family and spending time with my kid and whatnot.
Awesome.
The usual things. But Upland's kept me busy. It keeps me out of trouble in the real world.
Right.
That's what it is, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Well,
so
Lance, what do you got coming up? You have any new projects coming up? Or I know you got your hands full with in real life and racing. You're doing a kick butt job with the racing. So
yeah.
any new projects or any new
No,
carts or cars or things coming?
I have no new projects. Well, actually, I do have one new project, but I can't talk about it right now. That one's coming soon. I do have some carts that are in the pipeline that are coming eventually, and who knows? I can't even say soon because that trademark is given to Upland for that one.
Hmm.
But yeah, who knows? But other than that, we've got the on the track live show tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Me, City Pigeon, Ant-Man, going to hang out, give away some UPICs, and host some racing this evening. So we hope to see everybody out there doing that. And other than that, we're just kicking on with the URL season and racing, having a good time.
Awesome. All right. Well, good luck with the show tonight. I'm going to try to jump on there if I can in between stuff we got going on with the family. But any listeners that want to get out and enjoy a good show with City Pigeon and Ant-Man, really good guys. I haven't met Ant-Man in person yet. I did meet Pigeon last year in Vegas. Really, really cool dude. Tremendous racer, speaking of racing. But yeah, definitely jump on with those guys and it'd be a good time.
Yeah, and bring it. And I want to tell everybody right now, there is still going on a 50K UPX challenge on the track live show until it happens. We're gonna leave the challenge open until it actually happens. And here's the challenge. The challenge is I need to see 6 SEs out on the track, and if I get 6 SEs out to race on a track, and we broadcast it live on the show, then we are doing 3 wheel spins for anybody in that race. 2 are going to get 20K and 1's going to get 10K courtesy of JH Tolton. And so you got a chance to walk away with some pretty big UPICs, and all you have to do is bring your semi out and race it on the track tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and you can get yourself some UPICs.
Nice. All right. Well, you heard it here. That's the challenge. Get out there and race those S1Es.
No, not S1Es, SEs. It's got to be the
SE.
Semi.
Oh.
We're looking for a semi race. I want 6 semis on the track.
SE.
Do not S1E. No. Semi. We need semis. We want a semi race. That's the only kind of race I haven't called yet is a semi race. So looking to do that on the show. And we'll keep the challenge open until we get it.
Very cool.
We really tried last week.
SE?
No, I don't have a semi, but we really tried to round up 6 drivers last week.
Yep, we actually got 2 of them on a track. We were able to get 2 of them out there. So all we need is 4 more because those 2 will be on the show tonight too. So hopefully,
I think
Abdullah's got some SEs.
Yeah,
I think Shactalin's up for it. She's got a semi, so there's another one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Shaq, if you're out there, 9 p.m. Eastern, if we get a semi truck out there, we'll be happy to call the race and have a good time with it. And Abdullah's got I think 21 of them, so if he wants to jump in there tonight, he could win some UPICs too.
Oh, is that all he's got? I thought he had more than that.
He's got 21. Yeah, 21 semis.
He's got 21 semis, yeah.
That's crazy. I think
come on, Abdullah.
City, right?
Lend me one.
Right.
I know, right? Yeah. I just want.
That's why nobody else has it in a race because he's got 21 of them.
Share the wealth, brother.
Transport.
Right.
Oh, it's too funny. All right. Well, man, we got to call it a day here. I know I've got family stuff to do, and
me too.
I got to get to seasoning some food that I'm cooking tonight on the grill. So, but man, thanks for joining us today, guys. It was a pleasure to have you guys on. I know I've been wanting to get Picasso on for quite some time, and Mass, it's been a while since we got together, and it was
absolutely loved it
with the racing season kicking off, and I know it's just the tracks are just getting heated up too, so it's going to be a really exciting season, and good luck to everybody that's racing out there.
100%. And I just want to say thanks for having me on today. It was awesome. It was great to be here. I always enjoy hanging out with you and Keith. So, glad to have you. And Picasso, good to see you again, sir. And nice to be on with you as well.
Yeah, an absolute pleasure to be here, SC, and thanks for inviting me too.
Yeah, man. It's been a pleasure. So, well, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy some of the time with family, friends, and I'm sure we'll see you guys around the metaverse over the weekend. So
absolutely. And it,
guys. Well, everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you guys on the next stream.
Be safe, all.